I've spent $30,558 worth of Frost Stars in Whiteout Survival in 154 days. And today we've got Wild Brawl happening. We've got King of Icefield. I'm actually super tired. I've been working a lot on the side. So I'm going to go through this quick. Let's make some reckless decisions tonight, shall we? Because I don't have a lot of time to study things tonight. I'm going to go through things some quick. I'm going to do some spending, probably more than what I should. I'm not even going to be looking at efficiency that much tonight, unfortunately. I'm going to try my best, but like there's some stuff that I just need. And so like efficiency isn't really part of the conversation. So, and there's some stuff that my hands are just kind of tied. So for example, if we look at King of Icefield, the only way my chief gear is all maxed. The only way I can put any points on the board to get my basic rewards for this is going to be troops. So I just told you the other day, I bought some troop speed ups. I'm going to put them to use tonight because I got to do a bunch of troops just to get my basic points there. We do have Wild Brawl, which it looks like a fun event, but I really hope I'm going to be able to play at least a couple rounds because it looks like it's fun. It looks like a kind of like Foundry, but like fast, like a fast version of Foundry or something. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to play because I got a lot going on in my work life and I'm not going to, it's just like Frostfire Mine. It's like when it's on this strict schedule like that, it's just a matter of if I'm going to have enough time to take a break and play a little bit. So we'll see, what's going on there. I think that's all I want to talk about for events. I do have to move a little fast tonight. We do have, the internal castle battle coming up this weekend. I don't think it's going to be anything spectacular, so I'm not planning on recording it because we're just going to do some internal practice, I think, and end up, rotating the state over. So I hope that's exactly what happens because I'm tired and I don't want to be there for hours. So let's take a look at some things to do for spending. So I guess I'll just hit this one up quick because this popped up after the reset. And yeah, I just got done explaining yesterday how I'm spending money on chief gear stuff because I want to be in a good position when this comes out. This looks like it's good value to me comparatively, and I'm going to buy this up. Why not? Like I said, I put some extra money in the account for reasons just like this, and this is the way this is the way we whale. You look for these opportunities to buy stuff when they're at good prices, and you buy them up so you have them in the tank. So now when that chief gear stuff drops, I'm in a really good position to press my chief gear quite a bit. Let's take a look at the standard event. Oh, not the events, the standard shop here. And we also have the Artisan's Trove that I already bought out. We got the pet chest. I'm going to leave that. And somebody brought up that the Hall of Chiefs pack, the speed ups you get is only slightly less than the troops that I bought. But, the value of it was a little better because they're general speed ups. I don't really believe in that, but these are general speed ups. And for the $5 mark, just to get some VIP points in the tank, I'll do that. And then, let's see, that's all we have here except for the daily deals. So we'll grab that. Sorry, I'm going a little fast tonight, but oh, no luck. And then we'll grab our claims here. And go ahead and grab that. So, now if we take a look at the deal section, we already did the crystal reactivation, so nothing to do there. I don't think there's anything to do in this section, essentially. So, we're just going to make our claims and move on here. Make that claim that, and we're good to go here. What's the dot here? I get to claim one. Okay, so that's the crystal reactivation. So now we have to think about what to do. So I've got to do some troops for putting points on the board. I do want to do I want to do something probably every day to push power a little bit outside of SVS, but I'm not a lot. So I don't want to use things that are going to take a lot of points away from me. One of the things I've been looking at, and this will be handy for various events, including, to some degree, Castle coming up this weekend, is pushing Romulus a little bit. And so these skills, I looked up the math on it. It's like these skill books, yeah, they put points on the board for SVS, but it's not crazy points. So I think this is what I'm about to do is probably somewhere around like 300,000 points or something. Not crazy. It is good points, but I've got a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing next SVS. So I don't think this is going to be make or break, and it'll help me with some other events that are coming up. So I'm going to upgrade that skill. Like I said, moving fast tonight because basically I got a lot going on, and whether this is a good decision or not, I'm sure you guys will tell me in the comments. So now we've got, everything across the board 20. So still got a long way to go to get to this to 30 to be able to upgrade this one more level. I can see why people say this is a real grind, because I think my next move is going to be to bring these two skills up to 10 So that way I'll have 25 between those, and that'll be 30 in total. And then finally I can bring this guy up. But look at how much the skill, the training gets to be. This gets a little nuts, the amount of training. So there is a speed up day tomorrow for the King of Icefield. So I'm not going to hit the speed ups on this now. I'll do a little bit more speed ups tomorrow, and that'll be the way I do a little something to push a little power tomorrow. So that's all I'm doing there for tonight. Then I could actually, I've been debating this. I could actually pop an Essence Stone deal. It's a little unfortunate because it probably would have been better technically for me to do that yesterday when I would have got points for Essence Stones. I don't know if there's another thing on the events. Like the King of Icefield isn't going to have another event for Essence Stones. So, this is speed ups and, charms and gathering and shards. I don't see anything here for hero gear. And really, if we look at the calendar, there's not a lot coming up that's going to have an opportunity. Maybe if we go out past here, one of these events, the Officer Project might have it. But, so because of that, all right, again, fast and loose, making some bad decisions tonight, whatever. I'm gonna do that here, and we'll see which one. I want to just basically pop one that I can. Let's see. No, not that one. Yeah, I'll pop a 130 here, and get a little bit more on the marksman, and then grab this mastery pack. So no net loss. And we'll see, based on that, we'll see what the backpack looks like now. So let's see if I get lucky on the fire crystals. Nope, standard 5. And then let's see, grab this, clear these out, and see what I get on 100 chests. Just one, which is average. That's fine. I'll take it. And what else does this allow me to do? Not only did I get that gear up, but I get to push this up a little bit more. Oh, it just barely didn't make 31, but that's okay. Trying to get that to 39 before the next SVS, so I'm in a good position to press all this. All right, so I think that's all the spending I'm going to do tonight. The other thing I can do here, let me just clear this out so it doesn't bother me. The other thing I can do tonight is press some of these troops so that I can. Now I'm not gonna waste gems and stuff because I don't really need all that much. So I'm gonna do a bunch of infantry. And then I'll do a round of, just to keep things a little bit even, I'll do these at kind of a ratio of what I did the infantry at. All right, I think that's all I needed to do. Let's see if I can get a nice round number on the power. Well, I'll do a little bit more. I'll do a little bit more, both for points and to round that number up. A little bit more. And I don't have the presidential buff. We've got the queuing system enabled, so, is what it is. But there we go. Pushed a little bit of power by troops, which is not my favorite way to push power. But the main reason for doing that tonight, there was a reason. It was to get points for my basic rewards on King of Icefield. And that, at least we got some points there. Not trying to push this hard, as you can see. Just I'm slightly ranked from some of the things I've done, but not really pushing hard. I'm saving as much as I can for SVS. It's been really hard because I'm really tempted to push power in a couple ways, but I'm just holding it for SVS, and hopefully it's enough for me to get to the next SVS and get through some events with the team and stuff. That's not a problem. Like I said, as you can see in the power rankings, things are shifting in the state, but I will have a bunch in the tank for SVS prep. We'll see how much it is exactly by the time we get done with all the stuff that I'm pushing for SVS prep, because I do have a bunch of stuff ready to go. Now there's one last thing I want to do tonight, before VIP, but I do want to take another look at Labyrinth. So I've been kind of, studying this. I'm hopefully I'm going to learn to get better at interpreting this in Labyrinth. But let's take a look, for example, at the battle reports here. So when you're defeated, apparently I was trying to read through this a little bit. Like in this case, I just barely lost. They had 28,000 survivors yet still. And if we start looking at this in any detail, we can see like the stat bonuses. In this one, there's no stat bonuses. We can take a look at, you know, what yours are compared to theirs. I mean, it's actually they're up on me a little bit here. And then we can look at like how frequently your ambusher, this is a lancer skill triggered versus theirs, and your marksman, you know, skill triggered versus theirs. And we can see how much, you know, they had left basically. So, you know, they had a lot of losses, but still had marksmen. So I think from what I'm understanding of the game dynamics, if we start looking at this, this is an indication that maybe I didn't have like enough lancers to penetrate and kill their marksmen, for example. So I don't know. This is the concept I'm going to play around with. A lot of these ones I've been losing. It's been because of that exactly. Like the marksmen are still surviving, and if that's the case, that's probably an indication that you don't have enough lancers. So let's see. Here's from what I understood. Now there's different ratios for these. So I just got done reading one of Tonton's latest guides on his updated, you know, recommendations. And he says, like, you got to just kind of play around with it to a degree. But these are a little bit different ratios than I remember seeing when people first told me some of these ratios. So let me start with just trying this ratio, which is one that he recommended. And there is an element of RNG. So let's take a look at that battle report and see what happened. So let's see. So actually that one I lost by quite a bit. And the other one, I had a 50-20-30 ratio and almost won. So in this one, but let's take a look at what happened in the battle, because this is where the RNG comes in. So their ambusher skill triggered quite a bit. And let's see, they ended up having, well, both lancers and marksmen left. So if I come back to, you know, maybe if I go to, whoops, not that. If I go back to 50-20-30, which almost won, and then go to like, try this instead of 50-20-30, 50-25-25. Let's see what happens. All right, let's take a look at the battle report. There's you can't do much when it's like if it's just the RNG factor as well. So yeah, I mean, look, their ambusher skill triggered like crazy here. So what am I going to do? Like wiped out all my damage causers before I can do anything. So, and let me just try to run this again. I don't think either I'm not getting very lucky or these ratios just aren't working for me. And there, I actually triggered quite a bit more ambusher, but my volley didn't trigger. So let's see how many. They still had 70,000 troops in this one. So I don't know, man. If you guys can tell me in the comments, like, how should I be adjusting based on these battle reports? Like, I want to learn how to get better at Labyrinth without just following people's general guidance. And it seems like a lot of people are just throwing out, you know, numbers. So the 50-20-30 so far actually seem to do the best. And, you know, these other ratios didn't seem to do it. So let me try that again and see how close it comes. There we go. Like, you know, and let's look at that battle report. So essentially, well, this was just RNG on my part now. My ambusher triggered quite a bit. Looks like. And yeah, we took a lot of losses on the infantry. Not so much on the lancers. Yeah, so I mean, let's try it again. See what happens. I mean, this is 50-20-30 is what's working for me on the research center. Oh, just barely missed that one. I'll try it again. All right, well, you know, I don't know. That had to be RNG, right? It had to be, because I lost by so much comparatively. I don't know, man. I guess I don't know what I'm looking at. Look, I mean, we both had 14. Well, this is a different level, though, so their skills themselves are probably a little bit higher than mine. Yeah, but if we look across the board. But I don't know. I don't know how to interpret these results and make any adjustments. That's basically what I'm asking you guys for help with. Take a look at these reports with me. Tell me, like in this case, like I lost heartily when just before the one before that, I almost won. Same ratio, and here I almost won. And let's take a look at what that was. I mean, I had better RNG, basically, better ambusher. So if it is this all what it comes down to, is just the ambusher skills ends up being what makes the difference. I don't know. The real reason I'm getting into this is because it's been bothering me that the Gear Forge isn't quite working. And again, this is one of those things where, like, here, I'll start with what I was, like, somebody else said they usually do 50, 20, 30 or 50, 15, 35. I guess I'll try that here. Let's see what happens. I mean, this is... So 40,000 survivors still. And yeah, his ambusher triggered more. And didn't get to the back line enough. So, man. All right, let's see. If I try the standard troop ratio that I was told was supposed to work, I think it was supposed to be like something like 60, 15, 25, I thought. So let's give that a try. 60, 15, 25. I thought I did this yesterday. Maybe I just had bad luck. I don't know. Hey, all right. So let's take a look at that battle report. So is it just a matter of, like, you know, bad luck? Good luck? But there's got to be something in these reports that I'm missing that's showing me something I'm not realizing. If it's just the, you know, the skills, the ambusher triggered more than them, I guess I can buy that. But let's give it another shot. Now, I mean, at this point, I don't know what else to do other than just retry. If we look at those reports, there's nothing I can see that I can do. Like, I went from, you know, wiping them out to having them having 60,000, and yeah, the only difference is how many times the ambusher triggered. Essentially, that's all I can see the difference is. Let's take a look at the previous one as well. I mean, our ambusher triggered about the same, and my stats look to be higher. So, like, what the hell, you know? What is going on here? Is some little tweak in order? Like, you know, a little bit less here? I don't think that's not enough to matter, right? Looks like I can... Yeah, I mean, look at this. They just got as lucky as I did on the ambusher, apparently. And they still had infantry surviving here, so that's not good. So that means... probably want to do something more like this. Yeah, I don't know. I give up. Let's look at that battle report. So, take a look here. Ah, they just matched me on the ambusher again. And let's see what they had left. Well, they still had infantry survivors. So, I don't know, man. If you know the magic, you know the secret sauce of interpreting those battle reports for Labyrinth and adjustments, please tell me. But there we go. At least I'm matched with the top score there. So it would be nice to know how to adjust that specifically, though. Sorry for taking so long on Labyrinth tonight. I really wanted to kind of do a deep dive on that and show you what I'm dealing with and see if you can help me learn. Part of what I'm doing here, documenting the journey, is I'm trying to learn and evolve as well. I'm not the guy coming out saying I know everything. I'm saying help, follow this journey along with me and help me evolve, help me learn. So if you know the secret sauce, please drop me comments, because you're going to help me and you're going to help everybody else. All right, let's take a quick look at VIP points, and then I think I'm going to call it a night because I've got a lot of work to do, actually. So let's see how many. Oh, did I get all my VIP points? Yeah, I got all my VIP points in. let's see how many spins it takes to get a frost star or a frost globe, frost sphere puzzle piece tonight. Here we go. There's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. Oh, and 90. All right, so that proves two things. It took me 90 spins tonight. Since I'm doing them 10 at a time, it's hard to tell if it was like at 81 or 90, but this at least shows that in all the previous spins, I have been getting lucky by getting them around 80. I'm not at the pity reward yet. It would have taken 100 to get to the pity reward. This time I got all the way to 90 before I got a piece. So that does tell me that I did interpret it correctly, and it's just going to take some time. But that also gives me some encouragement because I got a little bit luckier than I should have, that means. The other thing, talking to some other whales, like normally this is just so expensive to get the mythic gear, but the problem is, it's hard to get anywhere else. So I'm going to buy it. I'm just going to buy it. Why not? Because, there are some other things that are useful in here, but that mythic gear is really hard to come by. So even though it is expensive, and maybe not the best value, it is a way to get them in one of the shops that I don't have to pay for. It's kind of ancillary, award. Now look, we do have the matchmaking going on, but like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to play this right now because I got too much going on for work. I have a deployment I'm monitoring and have to get over. Actually, I got to wrap up this video because of that. So one more thing I wanted to mention that I should start mentioning at the top of the video, and I'm just in a rush tonight, but you got to check out the description of my video. It has a link to an affiliate code that'll allow you to buy frost darts from the official shop. If you look here, they still have a 5% bonus going on. You can see that 5 bouncing above my head there. They have a 5% bonus going on right now. If you use my affiliate code, then I get a little frost star as well, and you get to support me, support the channel, and you get that 5% off using the official store. I only buy frost stars from the official store because I don't want to risk my account with any other baloney going on with some of these other accounts, and that's the way that I know that my purchase is secured, and I get these extra bonuses every now and then, so I get a little bit more than what you'd get normally. You just got to wait for those 5% deals, and they come periodically, like about every 2-3 weeks or so. They run these special deals, and I just load up when I get the 5% deals. So check the video description for that affiliate link, and you can help me out. The other way you can help me out is you like this video, you subscribe to my channel, and you turn on notifications. That way, whenever I post anything, you'll be the first to know about it. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all your support, and until next time, I'll see you later.